Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. When I used to live with my children, my sons here, they used to ask me, Daddy, tufanye even drinking water. They will ask me, nitumie kikombe ama glass. Then I will tell him, tumia akili yako. And to many of you nawaambianga hivyo, tumia akili yako. Because nikikuambia ni glass, tomorrow utaniuliza nitumie sahani ama bakuli. Because I have reduced you to be somebody ambaye akili yake haitumiki. Mi wakati nilianza mambo ambao mnanijua kwayo, nilikuwa na 17 years old. Nilianza kugurumisha inchi. Na inchi, the years, yeah. So by the year 19, Kenya ilikuwa imeanza kujua kuna mtu kama mimi. The year 21, in my account nilikuwa na 1 million. Na sio ya godokoma, ni ya kutishia mtu maisha mpaka kaitoa. At 20. And this is because when I had a privilege of going to one of the best schools in Kenya after class 8. And I went to Kadinotunga High School. It is in Kisii. It's one of the best schools. But within 2 weeks, I had organized a strike in the school. And I was chased away. I was arrested and taken to police station. And then nikafukuzwa. Nikatoka hiyo shule, nikaenda shule ingine inaitwa Jenga Karume Secondary School, iko Molo. In another 3 weeks, nilikuwa tumetwanga mwalimu mwenye alikuwa anataka kutupiga viboko. Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. Kutoka hapo nikahamia shule nyingine inaitwa Moro Secondary School. Now parents decided I cannot be admitted in a boarding school. I rather be admitted in a day school so that I be monitored closely. And that was my happiness. My greatest moment came, my greatest prayers, because now I would operate the way I want. Wakapata kanyumba kama umeenda Moro pale panaitwa Karole. Kuna nyumba mzee sana pale mwisho. That was my house. I used to pay rent ya 70 bob. And immediately I was admitted in Moro Secondary School because the headmaster then was a cousin of my mom. So by virtue of being a cousin, they overlooked the indisciplined nature. So while I'm there, I was able to open a car wash. Where your church is, that's where I had put the Sagu Motors there. That's where I had my car wash. So I'll go to school, evening I'll come wash matatus because I wanted money. Then the former police spokesman, anaitwa Owino, was our scout master in Moro Secondary School. Then he was in Form 5, going to Form 6. And he taught me a lot of scouts. It was my first time to have traveled through Scout to Nairobi, Lowland camps, to Nyeri, and to many parts of the world through him. So he trained me to be a radical man. And that is what geared me, pushed me to be an extremist. Because I turned out to be an extremist, a youth who is extremist. Because me, I don't have a middle ground. If I like you, I like you. If I hate you, I hate you. If it is yes, it is yes for me. If it's no, no for me. And from there, I came growing up. Then as I was in my day schools, I grew to become independent. Because I'll make my own food. I'll go steal sukuma wiki from people. The churches, zilikuwa mashamba za watu huko. Ulikuwa na sukuma, so you will get there, unachuna sukuma, ukienda nyumbani ni kama ni kwako, but ni usiku. So I will not depend on my parents because I have a car wash. I was also selling muturas outside there, Zamzam Hotel. I will sell muturas there. So nilikuwa mtu ambaye alikuwa financially capable. And also in school, I will sell cigarettes na bangi. Ndio maana unasikianga wananitanga lile jina la mwisho, naitwa Noriega. Noriega was not my name, but those are the days that ID cards zilipatianwa kwa shule. Remember when the serikali kwenda leta watu ID wakuje wa. So I was not in, nilikuwa nimetoroka shule kwenda kuosha gari kwa sababu niliambiwa kuna gari kama 5 zinataka kuoshwa na kuna shortage ya wafanyikazi. So nikaacha, nikapenya, nikatoroka, nikaenda kuosha gari kwa sababu zilikuwa za serikali na zilikuwa zinalipa vizuri. So when the government people came, they came to collect names za wanafunzi ambao wangetaka kuchukua vitambulisho. So wale wananijua huko, nilikuwa najulikana Antonio Emmanuel Noriega. Antonio Emmanuel Noriega, he was a drug addict. He was a man in Panama, the president of Panama. He was a drug addict. And because I was a drug dealer in school, that is how they called me. Nilikuwa najulikana Antonio Emmanuel Noriega. If you go ask anybody that I school together, they know that name very well. Because I was drug dealer, marufuku zote, bangi, kuna tudawa twingine tunawekanga mtu hai tunaitanga C5 na sigara na vitu zote marufuku. What's me? Na kutwanga shule ikikuja ikitushinda. Kama kuna siku Mugumo Secondary, Moro Academy na ingine hapo inaitwa Meshida, we never allowed them to defeat us. And they will strive very hard to make sure wametushinda. So wakitushinda, we will beat them thoroughly and tell them, kneel down, frog march them, wakienda wakisema hatukuwashinda. Because I never believed in a defeat. I never believed in a defeat. Even if you defeat me, I'll make sure you say you never defeated me. So whenever we met, we will always win because we must not lose. Because of one person, one character, me. Police were also terrified because of me. Everybody was terrified because I didn't know what kind of a power or a spirit that was in me. Everybody was really terrified because the police will come. They arrested me once, they arrested me another time, and then they also said, kama ni huyo wachana naye. Huyo ni mtu mangatu, huyo anataka risasi. And no, so ikakuwa hivyo because they will come to my car wash, I will bribe them. They will come to my moturas, I will bribe them. I was also nilikuwa na distribute changa huko Modhuru, hapo naenda kuweka kanisa inaitwa Peace. Hiyo pandi hiyo yote ndio kulikuwa na changa. So I was the distributor. Nilikuwa na broker kutoka kwa producers, then na nilikuwa na jeshi yangu ya kufanya kazi ile. So I was independent. What I'm trying to tell you is about the independence. I will not want you to go through that line because it is not. At this time you will die easily. Those days kulikuwa na hiyo compromise kidogo. But for now, what I want to tell you, the capability to be able to do things at your tender age, it is a sign of a bright future. Since I came there after my Form 4, nilipata grade mzuri. The good thing, nilikuwa na akili mwingi. Bado sikusoma lakini nilipata B+. I was amongst those days, B+, it was the highest. I was among the highest in the nation. Na sikuendelea. Baba akaniambia niende shule, nikamwambia sasa what for? Already nimetafuta pesa, niko na pesa. Kwa account yangu nilikuanga na shilingi 8,900. So nikauliza baba, niko na pesa, I have money, masomo mengine ni ya nini? Niko na 8,000 na niko na shamba na lima ya pareto, nilikuwa na mbuzi. So I had everything that you need, a man need. 80,000. Oh, those are like millions of money. Na nilikuwa nimejiweza kujinunulia kiatu mzuri ya sandak, moccasin ya brown. It was nice. Na nilikuwa na t-shirt tingine tulikuwa tunaweka na ile maua tulikuwa tunapiga na pasi, unatupiga huko nyuma hivi kanatoka. Ile ilikuwa nakunja hivi unapiga pasi kanatoa ka diamond shape hivi. Sasa nilikuwa naweka ka diamond shape, ukinipata natembea ndio kila mtu aone. Na nilikuwa na bodi yangu ya darts, tulikuwa tunacheza darts, tunalipisha shilingi 5. So this guy, I was an investor. From the word go, I invested and it worked for me. Although when you become an investor, you have to defy rules and the orders of nature, because you want to be a good girl, a humble girl, a girl that want to be seen like you are going to heaven, or you sometimes lives in heaven. This world is so ruthless. It will deal with you ruthlessly. It will not entertain you. And when I came to Nairobi, I was able again to live with my brother for a short time in Kasarani, where we have Kasarani Medical Center. That is where my brother used to live. And then my brother was another crook one. Walikuwa na print pesa, my wash. So he had asked people to bring money, ndio watafuti unatengenezwa noti moja ya 100 inatengeneza noti 3. So he was making money. Unfortunately again he was arrested and I was left alone in the house without anything. Na kwa sababu ya hiyo wale watu walikuwa wamechukua pesa yao wakakuja wakachota vitu zake zote. He was left without, he was in prison. Na mimi nikaachwa nje. And the best people I saw walikuwa na pita ni vijana hawa wa kuchokora. That is how I became a chokora. Sasa hawa wa chokora walikuwa naokota mabati manini. Sasa nikawauliza, how do you make, what is it for? Wakaniambia hii ni pesa. Nikawajoin. Tukaanza kuokota, because for me it was about money. Anything that can give me money, that was me. So tukaanza kuokota. I ended up now kutoishi kwa nyumba because the landlord was asking for too much money. 2,000 shillings was too much money. I didn't want to pay that. So nikatengeneza nyumba yangu ya karatasi pale Mweki, ukienda Njiro hapo chini kuna mto hapo. That is where I had done my house ya makaratasi mzuri sana. And all the chokoras around walikuwa nakuja hapo. I was the king. So any business you do, you must do out of my license. I have to license you. You cannot be a chokora from Njiro, Kasarani, mpaka Githurai, Kimbo na upande ule mwingine wa kuja Kayore, Matopeni. So that was my territory. I'm telling you about how to capture. I may have captured wrongly, but I captured. Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. You may think, you may see it, hiyo mimi siwezani nayo. But I made sure I have my own army. And from that time, ndio tulipata nafasi tukaenda Githurai 44 roundabout. Hapo ndio takataka ilikuwa inatupwa. Hapo tunafanyanga crusade. The other side ndio kulikuwa na shimo ya takataka. Sasa kabla ijae ndio iletwe Dandora. Ilipojaa mimi ndio nilikuja kutafuta hii shimo ya Dandora. Tukaipata. Because we crossed over kutoka kule Mweki tukapanda hivyo. Sasa tukadirect magari zote zikuje hapa Dandora. Sasa Dandora nikakuja nikahama kule, sasa nikakuja Dandora. Gari kuja kutupa takataka ilikuwa inatupatia 50. You can imagine the entire Nairobi ilikuwa inatupa takataka hapo. Every lorry 50 bob. Na ukikataa kutoa 50 bob, we detain your lorry there. And no police officer will come. Because they are also on payroll. I had bought the OCS, I had bought the officers there. They were on payroll. So which police officer atajifuta kazi? Maana walikuwa nakuja kuchukua shilingi 500 ama 1000 depending na siku venye imekaa, ama depending ni takataka gani umekuja. Kama takataka ya Runda was expensive. Sio kama ya Kayole. Alafu takataka zote za kutoka Runda, Lavington zote zilikuwa sasa ni himaya yangu. Hiyo ikuje lori yote ya Runda ya huko Lavington, Kiuna, zote hizo ni zangu. Maana zilikuanga either ziko na chakula, unajua kule wanatupanga chakula mingi, ziko na chakula mingi imetupwa hapo ndani, ama viko na vitu za dhamani, manguo nini, precious things utazipata. Kujamaa naitwa Madheri Rasta na Wanogo, na jamaa naitwa hiyo mwingine iko na Diari na mwingine alikuwa naitwa jina imepotea. So they used to come. Sasa wananipatia bunduki na ficha hata fee. And that's how I turned to be a robber. Pole nikaenda nikipanda. Why am I telling you this story? For you as a young person at your age and you are not making money, you have missed the target. It is not about being holy in the church or being unholy in the church. It's about how do you make your God known? Because whatever God I was worshiping then was known. I was in Mungiki, and Mungiki until today, if you mention Mungiki, unasikianga some squirrels zinatembea kwa tumbo yako. At the mention of Ndura Waruinge, wanakuuliza, are you sure? Unaenda wapi? Kanisa gani? Nani? Waruinge. Ule wa Mungiki. So, why am I on this thing? Is to give somebody an encouragement that you are ripe to become a king at your age. If you look at whatever I did right from home, coming up, I lived a kingly life. Though it was in a negative way, because mtaniambia hiyo ilikuwa baya, kuuza madawa ilikuwa mbaya, kuuza changa ilikuwa baya, kuwa chokora ilikuwa baya, but always I led people. Always people depended on me. Always I made solutions. Always I conquered territories. That is the purpose of a youth. That is the purpose. It's only that I didn't have a mentor who will give me a direction in a positive manner. Had I have found somebody like Mwalimu hapa, akuja niambie this is how you need to walk, I'm telling you, I'll be living like the king of Brunei. Do you know the king of Brunei? The king of Brunei is the richest man on earth. Wachana hao tulisema wanasemanga kina Elon Musk. This guy, he lives in a gold house, a gold palatial house. I think you'll Google the king of Brunei. Ako na ndege zake chopper made of gold. Ako na gari zake private made of gold. Sea coated gold. He lives in a gold house. His son is the highest paid football player in the world, but people don't know because he pays the son. It is not the club that pays the son. He fixed the son in Chelsea and he pays the son. He's the highest, more than Maradona, more than Ronaldo, more than anybody. Gari zake zote, gari nane zote zile, at every single minute, 8 cars zinakaanga zikiguruma every 24/7. Kuguruma in case ahitaji kutoka. Ndege yake chopa zinakaanga zikiguruma in case atake nini kutoka. Si ati waasa ati goja kidogo tukurumishe, no. Ati wacha ishike moto kidogo. It is always on standby. He lives a golden life. He lives the most precious life. Some of the politicians in Kenya, they are associated with him. They do business together. This man is not a Christian. And the richest people now are not Christians. The Muslims, the Chinese and the Indians, they control the economies of the world. They are not Christians. Abraham was the richest, until today is the richest with the greatest promise on earth. He's not a Christian. Is Abraham a Christian? Badugu, Mwalimu, is Abraham a Christian? Is Isaac a Christian? Jacob? Moses? They were not Christians. They believed in God, yes. Christianity came after Jesus Christ. These are the most people that we can, whatever, every single time tunajihusisha na nani? Abrahamic promises, Abrahamic blessings. Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. If there were people who are cunning and they knew how to get wealth, it is Abraham. Aliuza mpaka akapatia na bibi yake ndio aweze kupenya, then he intimidated them. I'm not telling you mwende mkafanya hivyo, but I wanted to jog up your mind that you have a platform of the greatest man on earth, Jesus Christ, how can I use this platform to make greatness of my life? Because we have Jesus Christ, who is unmatched, who is uncompared. Nothing can be compared to Jesus Christ. All men, all kingdoms, nobody can compare them. But you belong to that kingdom, but you are so poor. You belong to a greatest man on earth, but you are so poor. Why? You are holy when you are walking Christianly, that you don't want to, utaki kuumiza dunia, but you are so poor. Why are Christians poor? Why are young people, young Christian people poor? Because in church we have failed the youth. In church the youth have failed themselves. You come, you sing here. You come, you hold your mic. You want to preach. You want to speak in tongues. And you are a young person. You train yourself to be a sycophant. Instead, you training yourself to become an entrepreneur. Because your God will be known through your acts, or what is happening around you will cause your God to be known. But if you are poor, you go out there, you go begging, you go looking for somebody to help you, yet you are a Christian, nobody will listen to your Christianity. Nobody will understand what kind of a Christian are you. And that is where Christianity is being mocked. You saw in France what happened in France. They were launching the one world order, the devil war people. They were launching their next plan of the earth. Did you see that? The entire Olympic launch was demonic. Even they mimicked the Last Supper of Jesus Christ. They put a fat woman there and the people around there wearing demonic attires. Because they have this. They have this. Akina Kemboi and all those people, they are all Christians from Kenya, but they were forced kupitia kwa magogona ya hawa waabudu wa shetani, because utadu na umeenda kukimbia upate pesa. Kwa hivyo hata ukipatiwa pesa ya shetani, you won't mind, kwa sababu you are looking for money. You see now? And that is what has caused Christianity to lose a meaning. That is what has caused Christianity to become beggars, because most of the beggars on earth are Christians. Most of the hopeless youth on earth, they are all Christians. They are going to heaven, but you don't have anything for sure. Jesus say, kuna mmoja alimpatia talanta ngapi? 5, 2, 5, 3, 1. Then he asks, wewe ulipatiwa 5, ulifanya nazo nini? Hakuna. Wewe ulipatiwa 3, ulifanya nazo nini? Hakuna. Wewe ulipatiwa 1. Mmoja tu ndio alifanya 1, si ndio? Mungu alikupatia akili. Mungu alikupatia akili. Si uko na akili? Wewe uko na akili? Siko mingi ziko zimekaa vizuri. Sasa utakapoulizwa akili yako ulipopatiwa uliitumia na nini? Ndio useme kule juu kuna kanyumba, at in my father's house there is a mansion. Hello? Na unasema kule utaenda, Yesu ameenda kukujengea nyumba. Sikatai. But how will Jesus build a house in a house? Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. In my father's house it's a mansion. How will Jesus build another house in a mansion? Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. How will you go around to preach Jesus Christ, yet where you are poor, you huna chakula? At the only thing you can tell me ni unajua kumeharibika ndugu. Kumekauka sana. Serikali hii imetufinyilia. How on earth will you live in a government, an earthly government, if you are a Christian? Christian don't live on an earthly government or system. We live in heavenly system. See, we lost it because your God is practical. We want to build a generation that has a practical God, not a miraculous God. You cannot come come to church and seek miracles. Oh, Father, that you are confusing the devil so that money can come to. No, you are confusing yourself, killing yourself, and wasting your energy for nothing, because there is no money can be dropped from heaven. No money. Atashika hapo. Hapa juu. Kamata hapa utunawaya. That is madness in Christianity. Pokea gari. Who dropped his car? Ati hapo kuna gari, chukua gari. Ulisikia gari imeletwa na mtu hajui Yesu. Muhindi, they don't know Jesus. Japanese, they don't know Jesus. They are the producers of these cars. Who dropped a car by the roadside? Unaambiwa ndio wakote. Atashika ndiyo car. Ndiyo kifunguo ya nyumba. Imejengwa na nani? Did you participate kujenga? Unakuja kwa kaa party ni maombi kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni, unalala maombi, unaamuka maombi, ati maisha yamekuwa utakufa maskini. You will be buried a poor person and you will be hated in heaven. God does not like those kind of people, because that's why God gave you brains. That is why God gave you wisdom. That is why God gave you hands. That is why God gave you legs. That is why God gave you a stomach. Because it is the stomach that controls the world, not the brains. I wish you knew that. It is the stomach that controls the world, not the brains. Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. Had it not for the stomach, hatungekuwa na hii nyumba. Had it not for the stomach, hatungekuwa na AK-47. Had it not for the stomach, hatungekuwa na president, because why would you need a president? To lead you to do what? Had it not for the stomach, hatungekuwa na police station, hatungekuwa na army. It is stomach that drives us to do crime. It is a stomach that drives us to steal. Corruption comes from your stomach because you want to fill the stomach. So if you can be able to control your stomach, and then you will be able to allow the brains to work for you. Christianity is about the brains. That is why Jesus, as holy as he was, as God as he was, he never went to anybody's house apart from one person. Who is this person? Zacchaeus. So no wonder you might find Jesus who State House. Akishuka tu utamkuta huko State House. Nyinyi mnashida kusema hapa ataenda. Aenda wapi? Na Yesu ameteremka. Alienda kukula sapa huko. Mtu mwenye alikuwa amedharauliwa, amechukiwa na kila mtu. Jesus was there in the evening. Akakula sapa because ya nini? Alijua ministry cannot be run without money, and this man is carrying money. Alitumia wisdom. Kulikuwa na kitu. Sasa niambie, tutambie huyu ndio Zakayo. Huyu ni Zakayo. Wewe ni mholi, wewe holy of the holiest. Na huyu ndio Zakayo, amebeba pesa. Tell me for sure. Nitatangulia kuja kwako, mtaenda kwa huyu. I need to pay rent for this house. I need to put these computers. All these things is money. And this money, the Bible says, he will cause the heathens. Atachukua, akupatie. Sasa unasema holy harabo sendere. Na unanga waimbaji hapa wakimba. How? Jesus atoka kule akuje kwako na ujinga yako yote. No, siati akuje. God, Jesus said, I was poor and you never came to see me. I was sick, you never came to see me. I was in prison, I never. Jesus doesn't live in here. Hapa tunakujaga tu kufanya sherehe. Kuna kule Yesu wako. Na Yesu si akutafute, ni wewe utafute Yesu. Na Yesu si wajinga. Yesu is the richest man on earth. He conquered territories. Yesu hakukuja tukubebeleza watu. Wherever he went, he conquered. Akakuta watu ni walevi, akawatengenezea pombe wakunywe, to conquer their mind and their soul. Akakuta watu wakuna njaa, he conquered their stomachs. That is how he started his ministry. Hakuanza na vitu na miracles. Kabla atengeneze pombe kulikuwa na viwete. Kabla atengeneze pombe si kulikuwa na viwete? Si kulikuwa na vipofu? Mbona hakwenda kuponya vipofu kwanza? Alijua I have to make these people speak, talk about me. Akatengeneza muratina. Don't want to be poor, to be begging for money right now at your age. Unaambia mama yako akupatie pesa. Why? Unaambia baba yako akupatie pesa at your age now. No. You don't need. Mimi hata nikisikia mama yangu anaingia huko, kwa sababu nikienda nyumbani, she likes giving me money. Ati sasa uko na fetero. Wewe na fetero. Na chomokaga. Si ulienda nyumbani uko na nataka kukutolea kitu. Yeah, because she believes in that. So you will run away from her. Because I don't want to be a beggar. Don't rely with those prayers, fake prayers, going to heaven, touching wires, expecting going sleeping for a miracle. Wengine wameenda huko milimani mahali kuna mawe na kuna joto, unakuta anajiwekelea juu ya jiwe ati Mungu amuone. Who said that God is not seeing you? He knows you by your name. And as he called you, akambia Abraham, I have blessed you. He told Abraham, rise up, go to Mount Moriah in one of the mountains, then you give your son as a burnt offering sacrifice. When he was there about to slaughter and God provides for himself a sacrifice, then he gives him a promise. And that is what we rely on until today. That Abrahamic promise, that you shall increase as the stars of the heaven, as the sand of the sea, and none of your generation will be defeated by their enemies. So when he says none of your generation will be defeated by your enemy, it means in wherever field you go, you will conquer. So God does not tell you. He told Joshua, where you are, somebody talk to me, where you are will. So did he tell you in your dream, in your confusing the devil, you will possess anything? While you are walking, while you are moving, that is when you possess. Don't go sleep in the house. Wait for your mother to give you anything. Wait for your father to give you anything. Wait for a miracle to come. Wait because you prayed. You are in 7 days fasting, trusting for capital ya kuanzisha biashara. Ati Mungu atumane. God send somebody. That is witchcraft. That is witchcraft. God send. You are using spirits to command people to bring money. That is, you are witch. When mchawi. Go to your uncle, borrow money there. If you have a business, come here. Give me a business proposal. Kuna watu wengi hapa nimesaidia. Wako, bring a business proposal. Niangalia nione this can make. I will fund you. I will help you. You're not my brother, don't care whether itarudi ama itarudi. Provided the business proposal imekuja vizuri, imeiona, we will hold hands. We will tell God, this is our vision. And we have written it in big capital letters. Therefore, do whatever you do. When you said, write your vision with capital letters, you told us so. We have done so. This is the money we want. To use this money to do this business. Simple as that. You become rich. Isaac did not rely on the blessing of his father by imagining mahindi itaenda ime. Kwa sababu we are from a holy family, ati mahindi itamea peke yake. No. Alipanda mahindi. Alidanganya wale watu wakampatia mbegu zote. And because they knew this man is going nowhere, walimpatia mbegu na akapanda zikiwa zake. Kuvuna zilikuwa zake. Hello? Start. Yes. That is how you succeed in life. And you must be shrewd. Shrewd does not mean you are a devil worshipper. Shrewd means that you are using your brain in a way that is cunning, that your enemy will not be able to see or know what you are doing. That is now when you confuse the devil. Not in tongues. People who have succeeded. Abraham was a shrewd businessman. A shrewd businessman. He did everything and succeeded in everywhere. But he win battles because they were shrewd. They conquered. Joshua was very shrewd. Remember when he was told that you go, akatuma watu wengine mwende kule mbele, na wengine muende hapa mbele, muende nyinyi mchome, alafu mutoroke. Alafu wale walikuwa pale kwingine waingie, because you have drawn these people from their territories. You cannot defeat anything from the territory you are sitting. When they are in their territory, you can never defeat them. You must draw people from your territory, their territory, so that you can conquer their territory. Anybody hapa, nikiwa hapa, uniambie hata ukuje Mugaga, nitie with the greatest witch wa dunia hii akuje, nikiwa kwa madhabahu hii, hata baba yangu ya kiroho Harrison hawezi kunishinda nikiwa kwa madhabahu hii, because this is my territory. That is how nani huyu aliua manabii 400 ni Elijah. Why Elijah was capable of defeating them is because he raised the altar in his area, in his territory. Then he sat down and told them, do what you are doing, watching over them. He was sitting in his altar. Nobody can defeat you in an altar. The business you are about to start is an altar. The kind of a job you're about to do is an altar. Raise it as an altar and sit on it. Nobody will be able to defeat you. Nobody will be able to conquer you, no matter how powerful this person might be. But if you metoka hapa ati unaenda Kataloni, ati kuombea Kataloni kazi yako, utatoka umekaukiwa. Kama ni kazi, kama ni maisha yako, yatengenezea kwa bedroom yako. Tengeneza an altar. That is what I can advise you to do. Si ya kushika mawaya, si ya kuhama uende kwa Ezekiel uchukue handkerchief uweke kwa mfuko, ati ukiona wakati biashara watu wameanza kupita hapo ni kaduka kako, unaanza ati ndio customer wakuje. That is witchcraft. Unachukua tu maji, utaona mainzi zimeanza kutembea hapo, meaning you have lost it. Build an altar kwako kwa nyumba, where you wake up, speak to God. That is how Muslims do their business. Early in the morning, 5 in the morning, they rise up, kuna mkeka, they do there. They do Allahu Akbar there. Saa 2 kwa msikiti, Allahu Akbar there. Akienda safarini, saa 7 ikifika, ataweka, atageza gari lake kando, afanye Allahu Akbar, because hiyo ndio altar yake. Through the altars, not through the prayers, through the altars, that is how we conquer territories, and that is how we conquer events and things in your life. Through the altars, not through the prayers. Wale watu wanaendaga, for example, let me tell you a very, I know many people won't take it good the way yani vizuri, lakini this is the reality. Let's go to Heaven's Gate near John Kimani William. We belong to one Father here. People go there in their thousands. Many people have gone there. They have done their sacrifices there. They have prayed there. When you go to a prayer mountain, and many people come to the prayer mountain becomes strong because of the worship that is done there. Who is the beneficiary? Is it you who go there, or the owner of the place? So who do we advance? It is him. See what he's doing in Nakuru. He's transforming Nakuru like something else. He tells people we need 50 million kujenga kitu, and within 3 hours he will again announce zimefika, wacheni kutuma ingine. Sasa wewe Mkristo umeokoka ukaisha, ulikuwa huko maombi, itisha 50 bob peke yake. Itisha 50 bob. Where we come, like when you go prayer centers, we reinforce the centers, and the owners, the custodian of the centers, they benefit from it. Reinforce your altar. Make your altar strong. Mpaka saa hii we are beggars ya wazungu, because Dr. Kraft na wengine walikuja wakaanzisha madhabahu. All these churches, we pay allegiance to who? To akina Dr. Kraft. Wazungu walioleta. Iwe ni Catholic, iwe ni PCA, iwe ni whatever, we pay allegiance to them. Maombi yote tunayaomba maana ndio walitengeneza madhabahu. They are the owners of the altars that speaks in our lives. That is why Ingereza inaendelea vizuri. Scotland because of PCA inaendelea vizuri. Roma is still big and becoming big. Everything is working well. Why? Because whatever they planted is sending food to them. The altar. Not a lot of prayers. Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. Mimi nitakwambia enda maombi. Enda Katoloni maombi 40 days 40 nights. Na mimi nikuja nitoe dhabihu hapa. Niinue madhabahu. Utanikuta nikiendelea. You have to differentiate prayers. It creating conducive environment. To create an atmosphere where the Spirit of God can be around you. But blessings are commanded through altars. That is why somebody will give his own son kwa Freemason. Kwa sababu na unaona in 2 months anaendesha gari, in 2 months yako na factory, in 2 months yako na kila kitu. Hakuna maombi ilifanyika. Altars. The altar of Abraham made Isaac to do farming in the dry season, made Jacob to be successful wherever he went, made David to be the king. The altar of Abraham. Are you getting me? The altar. What is your altar? Do you have an altar? Do you even understand what an altar is? Ama nikukuja kusema nivujie madhabahu ya wachawi, nivujie madhabahu, because that is all what we know as Christian. Nivujie madhabahu ya wachawi, maisha yangu naona imeenda mrama, inahitaji madhabahu kuvujwa. No, bona uko na madhabahu inakuattack because you don't have an altar. Because if you had an altar, battles are done in altars. Hello. That is where we do our battles, not outside the altar. Battles zote, economical battle, an altar. Finance, political battle, altar. Church battles, altar. Not at your home, not when uko nje, not ukuje ukae hapa, ukae tu ngedhi hapa na we expect anything to happen to you. No. Lift up this altar. Once you become that altar, this altar will do the battles for you. Ndio uliona the idha kule Madani ilienda kule Agog na Ashdod. Ilifika huko, nini ilifanyika? The Ark of the Covenant. Yeah. Watu walitajirika. Na kule kwingine ilipelekwa, nini ilifanyika? Watu walikufa. For us to succeed. That is why I had Mungiki. Mungiki was an altar. We slaughtered goats. We slaughtered cows. Every time, wherever we go and whatever we wanted, we did sacrifices. Zambuzi. Ndio nichukue mashamba yote ya Kiambu Dandora. Kutoka hapa Umoja 3, yote hiyo Dandora kuteremuka. It was a land about 500 acres belonging to a company called Kiambu Dandora. Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. Nilienda nikachukua mbuzi, nikachinja mbuzi 7 kwa hiyo shamba. Tukamwaga damu, tukachukua mchanga ule tukachanganya na damu, kisha tukazungumuza maneno kwa hiyo mchanga. Tukavukuza wazee wenye shamba through the altar of Mungiki. Hao wazee wamerudi, na si wazee walirudi, watoto wao ndio wamerudi. Juzi ndio nimewarudishia. Tulikatakata hiyo shamba yote, tukauza maploti zote. Na nilikuwa nawapatia certificate under my signature. Na ukienda bank unapatiwa loan. Na neighborhood walikuwa na certificate kama zetu, lakini za mtu mwingine. Wakienda bank wanaambiwa nenda ulete title deed. Lakini because mine was anchored on an altar, it acted and made things to work because it was an altar. Are you getting me? And they subdivided the entire land, plots, na watu wakajenga, na wamejenga na loan za bank. Lakini neighbors walinyimwa kwa sababu walikuwa na certificate za mwenje. Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. Wakaambiwa lazima mkuwe na title deed. So when you have an altar, ndio unaona Muislamu kupitia kwa altar yake anaweza kufanya biashara. Muhindi kupitia kwa altar yake anafanya biashara. And these people, they have built altars for successes of life. Are you getting me? Altars are built for the successes of life. Worship are done for successes of intimacy with God. So when you bring this altar and the altar of prayer together, then you become holy. You have partnered your altar with God. Now, people like Aga Khan is an altar. Aga Khan himself, His Highness Aga Khan is a god to the Ismailia community. To them is a god, and they worship him. He is an altar. They do business using it, and they have empowered each other. That is why the Ismailia community is the richest. They own hospitals, they own schools, they own businesses. Ukienda hardware nyingi zimefunguliwa, wale wamevaa tu kofia hapa kwa kichwa. That is Ismailia community. They own business and they go to their temple. They are given money. Go invest, and then you return the money, because that is based on the altar they are in. Nation media, they control the masses. You go to the Muslims, that is the same thing they are doing. But as Christian, why do you come to church? To hear the word? Si ufungulie radio, usikilize neno huko nyumbani. Fungulia TV yako, uangalie huko. Don't come waste your time here. Kama I'm not benefiting you, don't come waste your time. If this altar is not changing your life, you are wasting your time. You die poor. Na huyo Yesu yako hataonekana. Na ndio unaona watu wengi wametoroka kanisani, because we don't understand the meaning of altars, and we don't understand the meaning of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was an anchor that anchors to us the successes. He did not come to make you poor. He came to liberate. He came to liberate you. He came to set you free. He came to break bondages. He came to break every satanic forces against you that hinders you from successes. By being a Christian, you're not supposed to be poor. By being a Christian, you're not supposed to be idiot. By being a Christian, you're not supposed to say, sasa mimi ni Mkristo, nitakaa tu niwakuetelea mwadhani, nikogoja tu mwadhani akuje. No, wacha ujinga. Mwadhani si mjinga kama wewe. Mwadhani anataka people. He is here. We are supposed to glorify the kingdom of Jesus Christ. By glorifying the kingdom of Jesus Christ, it is to conquer. We are meant to conquer territories. Through Jesus we conquer. We win. We conquer the world. Look at now. So young people, do not be being rich. It is the happiness of God. God wants you to be rich. God wants you to be successful. That is why the people he used, like Moses, like Abraham, like Isaac, Jacob, David, they were all rich, and he helped them to conquer. Na kuomba nyinyi young people, muachane na hiyo ujinga. Be liberal. Make your God known. Do businesses. Conquer them. Be very innovative. Territories are taken. You don't persuade for a territory. You don't agree on a territory that, oh please, take this, I take. No, you conquer. The Bible in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter number 7, the Bible says that when you get into the land that I am about to give to you, which is occupied by nations which are 7 times mightier than you. So there is nothing that is being held by a person who is weaker than you. It is held by a person mightier than you. When I hand them to you, you shall utterly conquer them, destroy them when they are in your hands. He told Joshua that now Joshua begin a journey, start walking. Where you will go, you will conquer. Joshua started conquering Gibeon. He went to Ai. He went to where? He conquered territories that were occupied. There is no unoccupied territory. Any money that you want is with somebody. Any car you want is with somebody. Hello. Any good house you want, any piece of land you want, it's with somebody. It will never come to your bedroom. Oh, we have heard your dream. We have heard you dreamed very well. And God has sent me to you. This is me now. And beside me is a title. No. Use the brains. That is why he gave you 5 common senses. Use them. Conquer them. Where you need to be shrewd, be shrewd. Don't be ungodly, but be smart. Do business. Business is about being smart. Outsmart everything. Outsmart them. Do the good way. The good way you see. If I maneuver from here, I get there. I get to there. I will make it. That is how it is done. That's a success and the plan of Jesus in your life. That is why Jesus came to liberate you. He was a young man. He was only 33 years. That is the many years he lived on earth. 33. So in his 20s, in his 30s, we don't have his history, but in his 20s, his 30s, this man must have gone down. In his 12, when he was 12 years, when he disappeared from his parents, and only them came to find him where? In the synagogue. Why did he run away from the parents? Because he saw, these people are not making sense to me. I need to go and find my own direction. Find your direction. Tell your neighbor, find your direction. Tell your neighbor, your pastor does not have your direction. It is you who will find. You will find the direction. Your pastor doesn't. Me, I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to tell you. Now from here, nimefungua kichwa yako endo itumie. Si kukaa hapa mwaniki ati unafanya kanisa kwa sababu kanisa ugakuwa yeye mudheni huko. Sijai patana na mtu ametajirikia kanisani. Ati alikuwa Asha akatajirikia. Wale ukikuta tafuta mtu anasema I have served the church but the church neglected me. Yes, you will be neglected at some time because you will be immaterial. You will be not needed. There is a time sasa tunakutuma kwa sababu unapanda vitu, unapangusa, unafanya kila kitu. That's why we need you now. Wakati utaanza kuchoka, mgongo utaanza kukaa hivi, we will not need you. Kuna kijana kingine katakuwa kimetokea kako na nguvu ka kufanya kazi. Jipange saa hii, wakati tutaanza kukuondokea umejipanga. Bwana asifiwe sana. Wachini ujinga ya kuja kanisani kuomba. Kujita ujinga tu, I'm serving the church, so what? Unaimba hapa, so what? Wewe ni pastor, so what? Wewe ni Asha, so what? Go work. Come and serve ukiwa na pesa yako kwa mfuko. Come and serve when you can be able to support the altar that you are under. Lakini sio ukuja hapa unapakuliwa kutoka kwa altar. You will die poor. Go and work. Kuwa na factory yako. Alafu tunakukuta pale na kitambaa ya Asha. Wewe uko ni CEO. Acheni ujinga. Tafuteni pesa. Utamu ya pesa. Tafuta, kuna pesa hapa duniani. Kule mbinguni hakuna pesa. Inaene kesi sio nugadhio matwini. Wachana na mbinguni kwanza. Jitengenezee maisha. Endesha kagari ka BMW. Kule hakuna BMW. Hakuna nyumba kule. Kaa nyumba, kaa Ruda. Strive to live in Ruda. You know what? People think Ruda is a miracle. It's not a miracle. The man that lives in Mathare and the man that lives in Ruda, they all came from a village. So ulitoka Eldoret. Kuna mtu mwingine alitoka Eldoret, ako Ruda. Na wewe ulitoka Eldoret, uko Mukuru kwa Rubeni. It's the choice of your life. How you want it to be. All of us, we came from a village. Fanya kitu at this tender age. Conquer them. Win battles. Displace them. God is a God who displaces. Follow your father. Don't be an idiot. Follow your father. Do what he does. Read the book of Deuteronomy 7 and see he displaced them. Read the book of Joshua 1 all through 8. Utaona he removed people. He said kill kings for you to occupy. Kill them. Remove them from your way. Capture territories. Conquer them. Subdue them. Make them illiterate. Make them completely asionekane mahali. That is what we need to have.